Hey guys, and welcome back to Irish Ham Radio, or welcome to Irish Ham Radio if it is your first time here. In this video, I'll be doing a SOTA activation of Montana Guaza in sunny Tenerife, just above Los Christianos and Las Americas. So here we are guys, it's 7 AM, sunrise is at 7:15 AM and I'm on my way. Hello. There we go. Scooter deposited. Ride finished on the link app. And that's got me as close as I can get on the scooter to the start of the trail. Okay, so part of my research, I was trying to figure out where to start this trail. I'm using Outdoor Active, what was View Ranger. And I found a trail alright that somebody has here. I'm going to start at a slightly different point. That's only because they must have parked up further up this way here and then zigzag back in themselves. I don't think I need to do that, so it looks like I'm going to start here. This is right on the bend. Los Christianos being that way, and there's this signpost. As you can see, the trail heads off. Now we have to meander our way up through them trails and zigzag over here somehow and end up way up here. The whole point of this exercise was to try to beat the sun, so let's get going. Just to address some of the hill walking reviews of this particular mountain. Now bearing in mind I'm not all the way to the top yet, but just want to say a few things about it. If you are in Los Christianos or Las Americas, the start of the trailhead for this is definitely not hard to get to. A lot of the people in the reviews would say a lot of loose rock, you'd be better to wear hiking shoes or boots or whatever else. I don't think they're necessary, to be honest. I'm in runners. You probably have a little bit more grip with a pair of hiking shoes. Maybe even trail runners might be a good sort of a compromise. But I know for me, when I'm traveling and I'm restricted with weight and things like that, the last thing I want to be doing is throwing in a pair of hiking boots or a pair of hiking shoes when, well, for me anyway, I only take one pair of actual shoes with me on any of these sun holidays, which is usually a pair of good runners, and then everything else is flip-flops. Climbing just under an hour now, as you can see, profusely sweating. That's the thing about us Irish people in these countries. It's the heat that gets you. But not doing too bad, just under an hour, and the communication towers that you can see from the ground have started to come into view. And here we are at the tippy top antenna site. Big selection of stuff up here. They've overheaded the power lines up to this hill site, which is unusual in Ireland. Power lines to hill sites would usually be undergrounded. I need to find the place, a place to activate from. Okay, so as you've seen, I'm at the main tower site here. This is going to be useless. It's too much RFI. There's overhead power lines as well. Just not a good spot to be setting up. So then over here you have the other tower site. Again, that looks to be within the activation zone. Another bit of walking to do yet. So I have come across a couple of trail runners this morning, so the fact that there's trail runners on it gives you an idea that it's not the worst terrain. It's getting close to the time I planned to activate, 9:30ish. It's after 9 now in the morning. And I've been walking around here for a while trying to figure out the best place to activate from, because the problem is all the towers and the overhead lines, and then trying to stay within the activation zone. After a bit of messing about and a nice stab in the foot by that bugger, ow, I got the antenna set up. Not going to be the easiest to see probably on camera, but I'll try to show you it. Okay, so I've shoved the pole into this bush, and I have the one leg of the dipole over here, again into the bush, and the other leg of the dipole down into another bush over here. Here's the station. Got the Xiegu X6100 kind of in a bit of a in a sort of a makeshift protective bag here, just to keep it safe. You've already seen the antenna. I'm going to sit here on the bag, and I've actually taken my iPad with me to log on Ham RS to make it a little bit easier. And I'm going to be operating today as Echo Alpha 8 stroke Echo India 5 India Mike Bravo Portable. A bit of a mouthful. Hopefully I'll get it right. I'm sure I'll call it wrong a couple of times. Yeah, GI0AZB, GI0AZB, Echo India 5 India Mike Bravo Portable. Are you receiving there, Ian? Over? Yeah, QSL, thanks very much for 5x5. A little bit more difficult to make you out there, Ian. I'd say you're about a 4x4, a 4x4, over.
Fantastic day, Sam. Congratulations for your contact in Canary Island, in Tenerife. Very well. Very good copy. 5x7, 57, loud and clear, mate. Echo Alpha 2, Delta Tango. Go ahead, and please give him good night report.
QSL, thank you very much for the 5x7. Thanks for the 5x7. You are about a 5x4, a 5x4, Manuel, over. Echo Alpha 1, Delta Hotel Bravo, you're 5 and 6, 5 and 6, over.
Hey, thank you for 5 and 5, 5 and 5. Okay, mate. Thank you for Sammy. For Echo Alpha 8. Hasta la vista, ciao. Echo Alpha 7, Golf Victor, Echo Alpha 7, sorry, Echo Alpha 7, Golf Victor, my name is Jose, ready? Yeah, Golf India 4, Oscar, November Lima, yeah, 4OML. Good morning, dear. Number 5 and 5, 55, over.
Yeah, QSL Victor, I'm getting fierce tongue-tied with this Echo Alpha 8. For some reason it just hasn't sunk into my head yet, but yeah, good to get you in the log. I know you've activated over here before, haven't you? By the way, you're 5 and 4, over.
Echo Italy 6, Florida Radio.
Hey, how you doing, Declan? Echo India 6 Fox Radio. This is today Echo Alpha 8 stroke Echo India 5 India Mike Bravo Portable. You're a 5 and 6 here, a 5 and 6 there, Declan, over.
You're ready, thank you. 5x5, 55. Hope you're enjoying the weather. Raining here, blowing a gale as usual, over.
Yeah, QSL, I believe it has not been very good since we left. So yeah, we've been having lovely weather here. To be honest, I'm happy enough. There's a little bit of cloud here today. QRZ, Echo Alpha 8 stroke Echo India 5 India Mike Bravo Portable, SOTA. MI0, Sierra Romeo Romeo. How you doing, David? How you keeping? Nice to chat to you from a slightly different summit today. Today, as you know, I'm Echo Alpha 8 stroke Echo India 5 India Mike Bravo Portable. Yeah, QSL, thanks for the 5 and 3, David. You're about a 5 and 5, a 5 and 5, over.
Yeah, thanks for the 5-5. Yeah, you're about a 5 and 3. Sometimes you come up and then sometimes you lose you, but good to work here. Enjoy your holiday, David.
Yeah, I have a Golf 4 station there. Go ahead, over.
Yeah, Roger, EA8 sub 5, EI5, IM reportable. Golf 4, Oscar, Bravo, Kilo. Golf 4, Oscar, Bravo, Kilo. Over.
Oh, hello, Esther. How are you? 1 second now till I get Golf India 0, Alpha Zulu Alpha. How are you keeping? Over. Yeah, QSL, Esther. Thanks very much for the 5 and 5. You're about a 5. You're about the same. You're a 5 and 5 here as well. 5 and 4 to 5 and 5. A little bit easier to hear you than it was to hear Ian earlier, because I'm not that familiar with this Xiegu radio yet, and I've realised that there's a gain option on it that I needed to turn up to make people a little more hearable. Just to let you know also, this Ian probably told you, this is also a flora and fauna site, also a flora and fauna site. Did Ian get the reference the last time, over?
Oh, Roger, Matt. Fantastic. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, it's Echo Alpha Fox Fox 0551. Echo Alpha Fox Fox 0551, Esther, over. Alright, so there we go, guys. That's an activation, and a successful one at that. I have 12 calls in the log. A nice few EIs and GIs and MIs came in there as well from Northern Ireland and the south, as well as a few Echo Alphas and a few others. So I'm happy with that. It's a successful activation, and I'm only going to do 20 meters. There's not enough room really to get this antenna stretched out to 40, yeah, so very happy. One thing I would say about this radio, you probably noticed at the start of the activation that you might not have been able to hear any audio at all from the radio or any callers, but I could just about make them out. There is an option on this radio when you press the volume button. You can change the RF gain, and I did do that. I changed the RF gain to 75. It was at 60, I think, or 50. No, it was at 55. That did help with the audibility of some of the signals coming in. So yeah, so that's one thing I'm going to leave at that. The other thing I've noticed about this radio is, I mean, I'm running only 10 watts. I have the charger turned off, so the battery isn't charging. The LifePo battery isn't charging the battery inside, but it gets pretty hot, you know. It gets pretty hot, which I'm surprised at, and it was even hotter when it was in the bag. So that's a thing to watch with this X6100. But yeah, I know. Maybe I'll look into that and see, is there a firmware change or something that can possibly help with that. I know that some people have talked about actually fitting heat sinks onto these radios. Might be a necessity, but really, geez, I don't really want to have to do that with a radio like this. I mean, the whole point of buying this little radio was to have a small form, lightweight radio capable of 10 watts to do SOTA and carry up mountains. So I hope that's not going to be an issue. It's time to start taking everything down and get down this hill. But isn't that a beautiful view down over Los Christianos and Las Americas? Albeit not that sunny, but that's okay with me. want to show you something that on the way up I couldn't really give you an opinion on because I hadn't actually found an activation spot yet. But what it is this Y in the road, and the one to the left is the one I'm just after coming down. Actually brings you over to the other high site, which is where I actually activated from, just beside this building here. So if you weren't too bothered about going up to this one here, the quickest way is actually just take this left track. So some of you who watch my videos know that I also have another hobby that quite often takes place in the hills, which is geocaching. And one of my Ham Radio YouTube buddies, Chris M0RSF from the YouTube channel, Chris M0RSF, he also loves geocaching, and I know some of my friends at home do as well. So for Chris and for myself, I'm going to see if I can find this one. It's just a little bit down from the summit. Like in Egypt, I forgot completely to check at the summit, and there are 2 caches at the summit, but I ain't going back up there now. So here we go. No lid on it, although I actually seen the lid a minute or so before I found the container in a bit of a different place, about 2 or 3 meters away. But the climate is so dry here, this ain't going to get a whole pile of wetting. And that is that, folks, my first holiday SOTA activation of 2023 abroad. As you can see, I'm just getting back onto the scooter here to head back to my accommodation, and I do actually do another SOTA activation on this holiday, so stay tuned to my YouTube channel and maybe consider subscribing so you can see my next video of the second activation. With regards to the track for this particular climb, look at the description below of the video and you will find a link to my Garmin track. And that's it for me, guys. For now, 73s.